So today we're inspecting a flip. Let me show you what I'm finding. First thing that I saw was how badly this was sloping toward the house. Look at this. It's just straight down toward the house. You can see the displacement of the walkway definitely is from settlement. That's going to be from moisture. And if you look here, they've patched the foundation all across the front. This right here is where the negative grade is the worst, right? Okay, so that is all connected. The fact that this slopes down and it's damaged. Now, if you come over here, you're going to see how much settlement. You see these stairs? You can see where the top of those stairs used to be. That's all settled into the ground, and that's from moisture flowing down this direction and creating unstable soil. Around to this side of the house, same thing. This is pretty flat with some areas of negative grade over here, but look what they did. You can see that there was significant step cracking and foundation cracking here. Spalling all across here, and it gets worse towards this corner. And right here, this is where it gets bad. You can see where there was a step crack here, and then if you look up here, it created step cracking in the brick veneer, and then it's worse up here on the deck. You can see right there. So what happened is the ground all around here became unstable, and this whole section has settled down. So now we're going inside to show you that same corner, and you'll see this is that corner that we were just looking at from the back side of the house. But if you look, you'll notice a crack in the floor right along here. Okay, that's a pretty good sized crack. Let me see if I can show you that. That's the corner that's settled, and if you look down here, you're going to see how much it settled. You can see it lines right up with this course of masonry, and it just starts sloping down from there. By the time you get to that corner, you're 2 inches off. By the time you get to that corner, you're 3.5, 4 inches off. If you look at this crack right here, this is where the whole thing settled. I mean, it literally just cracked right across here and settled. And now I'm interested to go in the basement and see what the damage looks like down there. Here's what I can tell you. They've done a lot of patching and a lot of repairs, but they didn't solve the root problem of this whole thing, what's causing all of this. This foundation, this whole basement has been dry locked or painted. Looks really beautiful. And now you come inside and you see all the repair work they did. They dry locked everything. Now I'm going to tell you first off, I don't like that. I'm never a fan of painting, sealing, or dry locking the inside of a foundation because this is the wrong side to do it. If there's water coming into your basement, don't seal this side of the wall. You're going to trap water in this foundation, and that's never a good thing to do because the water is going to be coming in from the outside. But let me show you over here. La 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 la, I wonder why they have this fan turned on, blowing at this side of the foundation over here. I side light, and I can see where there was foundation damage all the way across here that has been patched. You see all that? When I come over here, this all looks real nice, doesn't it? Looks perfect. But you look down here at the bottom and you can see where they did all these patches. Now the reason they got that fan blowing on this corner, I'm going to show you. I noticed a little bit of darkness right there, that discoloration. And now let me show you on thermal imaging. You see all that moisture, that water coming in from the outside? That fan blowing on it because there was water in this corner and they were trying to dry it before I got here. Let me show you something else. From right here, I noticed a couple of wet spots on the floor. I came over here and there's a little puddle right there. And there's another puddle right over there. All right, but the first thing I did was looked up to see if it was this plumbing that was leaking, but it is not. So I broke out my handy dandy thermal imaging, and what do I see? You can trace this right to its source, which is right up on the wall right over here. And if you look, that also happens to be exactly where they have a patch. That has been patched right there and that is still leaking water into their basement. You see that right there? That's the source of the moisture on the side of that wall. Over here to this puddle. You look at this, trace it right up the wall, and you can see right where that water's coming in, and miraculously again, right where they have a patch. All right, so now I'm going to explain hydrostatic pressure to you, even though you probably heard me explain this 100 times. Number one, foundations are not intended to be waterproof. Foundations are intended to hold up your house. In a perfect scenario, in a perfect world, water would never touch your foundation. Now, when water flows in and hits your foundation, the only way it can go is straight down. When it goes down, it starts to build up pressure. It starts to put water on top of water, and it creates hydrostatic pressure. You ever swim to the bottom of a swimming pool and it makes your ears pop? That's hydrostatic pressure. All right, so when you get water coming in and compressing, it starts to push down. It starts to squeeze the water out the bottom of the foundation, which is what we're seeing here. So here's what they did. They came in and they dry locked this whole basement and made it look real pretty. But they didn't actually solve the root cause. And guess what else I see? Got this nice pretty ceiling, but you got big sections of it removed, and you come across here and all that ceiling has been removed. And we all know it's because there was a mold problem in here. Mold. Yep. Now I'm not allowed to tell the clients, even though they're standing right over here hearing me say this. I'm not allowed to tell them that there was probably mold in here, because there isn't now. And to be honest with you, they have done a very nice job with this house. They looked it up on Google and they said this house looked like it was in very poor condition. And I see all the damage it had in the settlement in the garage and everything else. But I can see the root causes of this that still haven't been addressed. They did a phenomenal job on this flip. 99% of this was extremely well done. What I don't like is that they painted over these walls and never fixed the cause of all this damage.